Hello, you're listening to Adam Yurchick, recording for TCGplayer.com. Thank you for joining me for round 2 of my Conflux and Shards of Alara Flashback draft. I'm on the draw, and I'm definitely going to keep this hand. I have 2 lands, including Rupture Spire, so I am on track to cast my spells. Hopefully I can even get this Thoktar down, which is my splash card, and Sprouting Thrynax. I also have a nice amount of removal, some disruption with lightning, and it'd be cool if I could cast Magma Spray right here, but he doesn't have a play, so I'll get it down later. Rupture Spire here, so my mana should be in pretty good shape. I just have to draw some lands and get my threats into play. Picked up Dragon Fodder, which is not bad. So he plays Esper Battle Mage. Dragon Fodder, not too good against that, but Magma Spray will just take it out, no problem. I think that could be my line, but I really just like slamming the Thoktar into play and just making him answer it or just killing him immediately. Just play my best threat, slam it into play, and hope it works out. Do not need to kill the Battle Mage immediately. I'll just go over the top of it. So 3/3 flyer. Here I'm just going to attack. Offer 2 for 1, and if he takes it, I will Magma Spray. Wisely takes it. So I think the play here is just play the Thrynax and pass. Don't see any reason to kill the Battle Mage quite yet. He could shrink something and use it to finish something off, but I don't think he's really going to do that in Esper. So I'm fine letting him have it for another turn. I'll go ahead and Magma Spray it here, because it's going to prevent 2 damage to him. I want to keep up my clock. It's on a 2-turn clock here. If he wants to counter Magma Spray, that'd obviously be fine. What would punish me is some sort of trick to keep his creature alive. But even then, it's not the end of the world. The Esper Battle Mage is non-essential. So he just bounces it. So I think this is a win for me. I think he needed to bounce my Thoktar. Unless he's sweeping the board, he's just taking a massive amount of damage here. And I'm just going to play the Death Raider, play the fodder. If he gets the Battle Mage going, he'll have tons of targets. There's some risk, but I'm just trying to kill him within a matter of a turn or 2. And also I have Skeleton Eyes to take out the Battle Mage possibly. But I think with Lightning, I just want to get this power into play. Doesn't seem realistic that he's going to sweep the board. Infest would be pretty good. Alright, I will just send the entire team. He can't really afford to put his big creatures on my 1/1s. So I'm just sending them all in. Threatening to just kill him with the Blightning if he blocks wrong. Could have just Skeletonized his 3/3 and just attacked. Solidified the battlefield, but I think just going for the win is better. Simply because he doesn't have good blocks. I could have sat here for a couple minutes and sketched out exactly what he's doing, but simply turning my creature sideways and attacking, I think gives me the best of all situations. Lets me win, lets him make mistakes. That's exactly what happens. He takes the green line, he kills the tokens, goes to 1, and I'll simply kill him. That's interesting. I wonder if there's games where you're so far ahead that you're better off not cinching the win. Instead, you're better off getting info. Like maybe I could have just lightninged, saw more cards, and won next turn. But I like playing this way. I like just playing tight, just getting wins and moving on. So nothing really stands out. Spore Burst, probably not ideal against his Esper Battle Mage. Hell's Thunder, maybe he's better than Dragon Fodder. I'd be willing to give that a try against this deck. Let's go with that. So this hand's obviously no good. Just a forest, a handful of red and black cards. So easy mulligan. This one's an easy keep. I have my mana. It's obviously a little bit land heavy, but nothing you could do. Put that land on. Well, actually, there's something I could do. I could scry that land to the bottom. Now I'm just in good shape. I have a couple removal spells. I have mana, and hopefully I can draw some threats. Predator Dragon is not the threat I was looking for, but hopefully it comes in handy later down the line. I'm not going to Magma Spray that. It's not super relevant. Also, in games when I don't have a lot of resources, I need to be more judicious about how I use my mana. Or not my mana, how I use my spells. And I don't have to be so judicious about using my mana. I'd rather just catch this homunculus with a branching bolt when he casts his Esper Cormorants next turn and keep that Magma Spray. So here, actually, though, the Rupture Spire is coming down. Now Predator Dragon is going to be online in a couple of turns. Now I can't cast Branching Bolt if he does cast a flyer, but again, I'll just cast it on my turn because I don't have action. I don't need to use all my mana. I need to use all my cards to the fullest and interplay with his and position myself to actually win the game. The way to do that is to make sure I use all of my cards the best that I can and not leave myself exposed. So here, how that card is more relevant. He should have probably cast it before attacking. I guess he was trying to play around Magma Spray. Now I'll happily go with Sigil Paladin because it's much more of a threat. They'd be attacking me for 3 a turn. Now, slam down Shambling Remains. His Puppet Conjurer essentially can make a token every turn, and then every turn he has to sacrifice it. So, basically a chump blocking machine, or sacrifice fodder machine. So in this case, he's going to just be containing my 4-3. But I guess that means he's also containing his Arcane Sanctum, so that's not so bad. And then eventually I'll just kill his Conjurer, so it's probably actually just going to happen now. Keep in mind that if I killed the if I use Skeletonize on his conjure on his turn, he can make a token, and then he doesn't have to sack it. He basically would have a free jumper. So I'm just going to Skeletonize now. And you could also argue for just saving it, but I'd rather, it doesn't look like he has a lot going on. I'd rather keep the pressure up. And I have a Branching Bolt back if I need it to deal 3 to something else, and then I'm going to be using Predator Dragon next turn, tapping out. And also, there's an argument that this might make him use removal on the Shambling Remains, so then that opens the door for Dragon. So cool, he cast Sanctum Gargoyle, which I guess is pretty good, but gets crushed by Branching Bolt. And I'm going to go with Predator Dragon. I don't see any reason to devour the token. It seems like a great blocker against his Exalted. And we know he has Unsummon. He will get a Chumper, but then I get more attacking. I think I need to just keep the aggression going. I guess it's sort of a wash. This uses the mana more efficiently, though. Yeah. So let's just get this down and get in. And actually, yeah, I'm not going to sack anything. It's going to attack with it. And I'm actually going to keep the Shambling Remains back. I was going to send it, but I realized he could double block, and I don't actually want to trade off with either of those. Not when Branching Bolt cleans them up so nicely. Alright, take that. Pestilent Cathari, nice. So now I can actually just eat that and the Conjure and leave him with the Gargoyle. And I guess the Skeleton should get in too, right? Huh. She's just going right to blocks. So it seems like I might have lost 3 damage here, but not really, because he would have just made a token with the Homunculus and blocked the 4/3, and he would have been hit with the 4/4 if I would have waited, or not waited. This way, though, it ties up more mana. I said miss 3 damage, I meant miss 4. But yeah, this is a wash. He's tapped out. And left myself in the best position that I could, given the circumstances. Now I just have 3 threats he can't, or 2 threats he can't deal with still. He's getting in there, though. And he Fiery Fall of the Dragon. So actually, if I sack the token, I'd have a 6/6 that he couldn't have killed. So it looks like that was actually probably just a mistake. And actually, my 1/1 isn't really doing anything because he has Exalted on the sorcerer. So that might have actually been like a game-losing mistake as it played out. Obviously, I mean, this guy has Sigil Paladin in his deck. I was keeping the token around for that sort of action, but not really working out for me with that Fiery Fall. That was gross. So still not a lot of action for me looking. Actually, I really have just drawn land, but making it happen. It's unfortunate to not to get full value from that dragon and to let it go down like that. I guess the Fiery Fall was unexpected, though. And unfortunately, another land. Not dead yet. It looks like he might be thinking about jumping. Hopefully he does. That'd be excellent. Playing around lightning. So that is a good turn of events for me. I'm actually going to keep these lands, make him respect something. And he, oh wow, he cast Dark Temper to finish it off. That was brutal. So it wasn't a jump block at all. So Predator Dragon probably game winning as a 6/6. As it is, I'm just gonna flood out. Wow. So yeah, I'm dead. GG. So go to game 3. Hopefully get him this one. And don't see any reason to switch it up, so I'm just going to submit this. He's not super aggressive, and my mana is slightly wonky, so I'm going to put myself on the draw. And yeah, I draw like some of the worst mana draws I could come up with. The panorama is basically a mountain, so this is a mountain, swamp, plains. I obviously have to let this go. This is a deck that cast only Thokdar on turn 3. This is not going to get it done. This is what I'm looking for, though. And that swamp is perfect. Probably should have led the mountain to represent the spray, especially because he's been playing around it. Predator Dragon, not a bad draw with Sprouting Thrynax, which I'm going to play the Thrynax, but he doesn't have a lot of removal from what I've seen. I actually think I'm better off just playing the Remains and getting aggressive on him. Though if I played the Thrynax, he couldn't attack this turn, so I kind of gave up 2 damage. On the other hand, the Thrynax could block here, potentially. Though not against his Aether Lich. He'll attack as a 3/5. Covenant of Minds. So he revealed Island, Sanctum Gargoyle, and Paragon of the Amisha. Paragon's not too bad. Sanctum Gargoyle is the nice thing, but he has nothing in his graveyard. And I obviously do not want to let him draw 5 cards, so I'm just going to let him have these. So he didn't develop his board, so now I need to just try to be as aggressive as possible and take advantage of that, which is the plan here. So I'm just going to send both in. If I send the Thrynax and he blocks the 2/4, I can skeletonize it. Then he'll just get it back with the Gargoyle. No, I think I just have to send the remains here. And then pass. If I send the Thrynax and he just blocks, I don't even know if it's worth skeletonizing. And if he double blocks, I don't really want to trade with the Sorcerer. It's just bad overall. So there's an argument that if I let the Thrynax die, then I could sacrifice 4 creatures of Predator Dragon and just 12 him. I'm going to skeletonize his 2/2. Because we do know he has all 5 colors, and as a first strike, it could mess up my creatures. When it's attacking as a 3/3 first strike, I won't be able to block it. And then I'm just going to get the dragon down. I have Absorb Beast actually to hit him for 4, which is nice. I kind of want to sack 2, right, to deal him 8. But I think just sacking the 1 is alright. Well, I could sack 2, and then if he bounces it, I could just hit him later. Thrynax isn't, just replay the 4/4 and hit him again. The Thrynax isn't doing much. Yeah, I'm just going to actually just try to bring him to 4. Seems like the smart play. Unlock the Thrynax. And I still have my Shambling Remains getting into. What's he got? Ah, drag down. Okay. So he just shrunk my creature, so he ate it with his 2/4. Mine became a 2/1, and he just killed it. Alright, I'll attack, force a jump, and then cast the Absorb, and hopefully that kills him. Awesome. So I won the match. Thank you for watching, and please join me for the final.